I did want to show you something real quick. When I'm attaching my belly band, I like to use my Score Pal as my little measurement there. How would I say? To make sure that everything is straight. And then I really like to push mine behind my actual page first. And then I glue the whole thing down. I just feel like this makes my belly band a little bit more secure and things don't get snagged on the hinges. But you can do it however you want to do it. So I'm just going to go ahead and attach this real quick. Then I'll just center this again. And then I'm ready to go. And at this point, you can go ahead and attach your base page. We're not going to do anything too, it's going to be cute, but it's not going to be anything too crazy. So we're good to go on that. And let me give you this measurement. This is for my, again, this is going to be 6 inches by 8 1/8. So we're going to make a spinner page, and I'm going to show you how I'm doing this. So this is going to actually attach here, all right? And then you can open it up, and then you'll be able to spin it. So what you're going to need here is a solid piece of cardstock that's 5.5 by 7.5. And then I scored it at the 1/2 inch line on the 5.5 inch side. And then I took 2 pieces of cardstock that are patterned, and this is 4.5 by 7 inches. Okay, so both of these are the same size. And what I did to make mine even, and I know it doesn't look like it is, but it is, I basically put these together, and I used some nesting dies. These are the Spellbinders Nestabilities S's and Sam 4, excuse me, S's and Sam 4-114. Okay, and I'm using the largest one, then the next size down, and the next size down. So 3 dies. Okay, the largest one I'm going to use on this patterned one. And basically how I did this was originally was I stacked these up where I wanted it. Okay, I know this sounds really bizarre, but in order for me to get the measurements right, because I've done this 100,000 billion times and it's just not stacked up right. So I aligned it where I wanted to align it. I used some washi tape, and then I started off with my second die, which is not my smallest but not my largest, okay? And I did it on all of these pages. I taped it down with my cheap washi tape and ran it through my thing until it at least went through these 2, okay? Then I took those off, and then I ran it through one more time to get it to go through this completely, okay? And pretty much once you run it through several times, you should be able to align it properly. Then I finished with that one. Whoa, oh no, I can't believe I just ripped that. Well, I'm going to glue that back together, let me tell you, because I'm not going to go through that again. In fact, while we're chit-chatting, let me go ahead and do that. Now that was a lot of work. Let me use my light real quick. I apologize. Goodness. Okay, so I reattached that one, but I'm going to put it to the side real quick. But what I did was I stacked these up again, and then I went ahead and I centered it. So basically it would have looked like this, okay? So I basically just centered it, but I did it on the pattern cardstock, of course, and ran it through my machine until that came out. Then I did one last time, so I had, you're going to need 2 red circles with your smaller die, okay? And this is where your photo is actually going to go. You're also going to need some twine. And I'm just going to make my twine the approximate length of this paper here, which is 7 inches. I'm going to go a little bit under. I'm going to do 6.5. Okay. And then I'm going to get out my mat here. And I'm going to again use my glue and my faux washi. I'm going to center this here. Actually, I still have it a little bit long. Let me cut it down just a bit more. So 4.5. Let me make sure if that is right. Yep, well, I was right what I was thinking. So 2.25 is going to be about your center. So I'm going to go ahead and line this up so I can see what I'm doing. At 2.25. And I can see my line down here all the way through, making sure it's lining up properly. Okay. And I know it's not going to stay on there great, so I'm going to go ahead and use some of my washi. Okay. Same thing here. Make sure you get off your excess glue. Then again, I'm going to center my circle. Oops, let me move this up a little bit. Again, I'm going to use my washi just to keep it, help me keep it into place. I'm going to keep using it along here until I get it covered enough the way I want it covered. Okay? But you don't want it to go outside your circle like I just did. And then you can just go ahead and glue the centerpiece down. You're just going to have to hold it. You just double check the other side, make sure it's on there evenly and it looks good. Again, if you've got any of this excess glue, wipe it off. Okay. Now, I can align it here. This looks good to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it into place because I don't want to have any issues, and I'll just keep on adding glue around it until I've finished putting it on here. That way I don't have to move it around. Then I'm going to do the same with the other side and attach that with the glue as well. And then attach it to my page. And if you're selling this book, you might want to make a couple extra of these so they can line up their photo to it and use it as a template and cut around that. Just make it easier on them. I mean, I would. Okay. Is that not too cute? And then it just spins. The tighter you spin it. Love it. All right, guys. Anyway, I'll be back. I'm just going to attach this one, and then I'll be back with the rest of our tutorial. Okay, so I'm not going to do a tutorial on how to do the hinge, but I am going to give you the measurements and your score line. So 10 inches by 8 1/8. And then you're going to score at the 1 inch, and then every other 1/2 inch until you get to the 9. And then you'll stop. Okay, so it's pretty simple. That leaves you a 1/2 inch gusset in between each page. Starting from number 1, so you'll have a 1/2 inch gusset, page 1, 1/2 inch, 2, etc., etc. And then I'll be back in just a minute, but I can give you this measurement. This is going to be your front and back, so you're going to need a piece of chipboard at 6 3/8 by 8 1/2. And yeah, 6 3/8 by 8 1/2. It should be, yes. All right, so I'll be back and then I'll give you what your spine is going to be. So for your spine, it's going to be 3 3/8 by 8 1/2. Okay, so again, I'm not going to do a tutorial for this part because I have numerous tutorials of covering my books, and then, you know, attaching them to the hinge, you know, attaching the hinge and attaching them to the hinges. So you can definitely look on any of my binding techniques or Tamara's as well. And then I'll be back with the finished product. I will give you, oops, hold on, I do need to give you the measurements of a couple other things. So I'll be back.